Thanks for tuning in to the Fox 54 Week in Review. I'm Kenesha Dees. Women's History Month is underway with International Women's Day taking place this past Wednesday. You'll see lots of pioneering, leading ladies and ladies who make our community better as we take a look through North Alabama at its best from the week of March 3rd through the 9th. Parents often wonder what's next for their children after high school, especially for those with special needs. And that's why two special education teachers from Albertville High School are bringing together the Marshall County community to help answer some of those questions. Our Sedona Meadows is live with us in the studio. And Sedona, you got to meet those two teachers today.
Yes, I did, Kenesha. These teachers have the biggest hearts and want to ensure parents who have children with special needs are getting those what's next questions answered. So they've started a few programs to ease some worries and encourage these students' independence.
Parents need to become as informed as they can to help them make decisions regarding their future, and they need to start planning early. It's just like for a typical student planning to go to college or planning for a career.
Some of that early preparation looks like an individualized educational plan, also known as IEP, that lays out a child's special education instruction. Once these students get to high school, they follow a transcript with required courses and their chosen electives.
We work with students 9th through 12th grade. We teach them daily living skills. We teach them their academic standards. We're very fortunate at the high school. We have a lot of collaboration with our gen ed teachers.
LaWanda Mitchell and Paula Kaler, both special education teachers at Albertville High School, want to make sure their students are supported and learn the skills needed for after high school.
We want them to be as independent as possible. We really work on their advocacy skills.
At Albertville High School, these students are involved in all sorts of extracurriculars, whether it be drama, art, and starting next year, a drum line. On top of it all, they have a weekly job schedule where they get to work at the Exceptional Aggies Cafe inside Life Point Church.
We teach them how to prepare food, how to serve customers, how to count money, and we work on interpersonal relationships, how to interact with your coworkers, and our goal is that when they leave us, they will be able to get supported employment through their experience.
And as many parents wonder what's next for their children after high school, that sparked these teachers to create an annual seminar called Stepping Stones, where presenters share about the many community resources out there.
It was developed for information for our parents so that they would understand what the next steps are and what programs are available to them.
Stepping Stones received a lot of positive feedback, and they hope to do it for both the fall and winter next year, with the dream of it expanding beyond Marshall County.
Hopefully this will be something that happens with all the counties because it is a true need and the parents need this information and they need it at least 7th grade, if not before.
Mrs. Mitchell and Mrs. Kaler both say working with these students is what they're meant to do and can't wait to continue to watch them thrive after high school.
Facebook flagged a staggering 73.3 million pieces of content under child nudity and sexual exploitation in 2022. And now a new app is aiming to combat those alarming numbers. Arkin McCoy has the story.
When it comes to social media, children and teens who frequently use it may only think that they're sending out information to their friends when they share a post, when in fact, once they send it out, it becomes public consumption. And sometimes those images can end up in places they don't want. Children and teens are at a greater risk of sexual exploitation on the internet.
We also do see the exploitation part of it where somebody meets up with someone online, or sometimes also, unfortunately, it's also peers that you send something as a joke, and then next thing you know, they're actually sextorting you, if you will, asking you for more images or money.
A new app called Take It Down is a free service created by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children to combat the sexual exploitation of children.
The Take It Down app allows teenagers, adults, whomever, to contact this app and use it to take down any kind of inappropriate nudes that they've posted or that they are aware of that have been posted by someone else.
And Jackson says one of the big benefits of the service is giving control control back to the person.
I think it's a great thing. It's giving people control again over something that maybe they did not mean to necessarily get posted, or maybe they have that, oops, I should not have done that.
But the biggest tool is parents having conversations with their children.
We've got to talk with them about it, because if we as parents don't do it, someone else will, and we can do it in age-appropriate, non-scary ways. And let them know too, stranger danger is the thing, but also sometimes the people we know, and oftentimes even in exploitation and the sextortion, most of the time they're finding out it's not stranger danger, it's people known to the family and the child.
In Huntsville, Kent McCoy, Fox 54 News.
March is also Women's History Month and National Reading Month. So we introduce to you Jennifer L. Holm, New York Times bestseller, and children's author of the graphic novel series Baby Mouse. Holmes visited the Rocket City last week and spoke to school children about her creative process. I was able to speak with her about the importance of reading and creating a little bit of history herself.
In honor of National Read Across America Day, the Huntsville-Madison County Public Library invited Jennifer Holm to Huntsville.
I think reading is important because it just lets your imagination go a little wild. You can visit almost any country in a book. You know, you can visit outer space, or you can go into the past. So it's a really cool way to just keep your imagination alive.
The fairies. Ooh. And monsters.
Where she spoke with grade school children about the behind the scenes of writing graphic novels, chapter books, and more. Those kids, too, love to read.
I love reading 10 out of 10.
During the month of March, which is National Reading Month, I asked them if they had any reading goals.
Well, my goal is to record every single book that I'm reading in 2023.
Any goals for you?
I am trying to read like 10 books.
Alongside Reading Month, it's also Women's History Month. And although Holmes' books aren't primarily about historic events, by simply writing these books, she's creating history of her own.
Yeah, so actually, Baby Mouse was one of the first graphic novels for children that actually featured a girl character. So I really wanted to do that because when I was growing up, I didn't really see myself on the comic book page, and my brother supported me, so here we are.
But hey, the month of March just started, so there's still plenty of time to pick up a book and get to flipping through those pages.
If you haven't read a book before, just read a book, and if you like it, you like it.
And you read another one, right?
Yes.
Well, a good breakfast can be a good jump start to the day, and the USDA wants to ensure students are getting a nutritious one to set them up for success. Our Sedona Meadows tells us more about meal programs available for students in North Alabama and how these meals can make a positive impact.
I'm sure you've heard the term that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that's true because it breaks the fast from overnight sleep. And that's why the USDA Food and Nutrition Service is both encouraging and celebrating the importance of students having that first meal of the day through National School Breakfast Week.
We see test scores do better on the days that kids are eating their meals. The food that we're providing through the school food program, often sourced from local farms, meeting nutrition standards set up by the dietary guidelines. We know kids are getting the best through this program.
The School Breakfast Program is a federally assisted meal program that provides reimbursements to states who operate nonprofit school breakfast programs.
We know that as educators, it's hard for students to learn if they're hungry. And so that's one of the biggest things that we try to do in the CMP program is make sure that we serve healthy, hearty meals. So when the students leave the cafeteria, they're focused on learning, not focused on the hunger in their stomachs.
SBP is administered by state education agencies that work with local school food authorities. Jenny Newton, a child nutrition program supervisor with Decatur City Schools, says they work all year round trying to increase the district's breakfast participation.
So far in August, we had about 37% of our students that were eating breakfast with us on a daily basis. Currently, we have about 43, and that number continues to rise each day.
And with the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program emergency allotments enacted during the pandemic ending and the remaining 35 states offering it,
I'm sure a lot of families' food budgets are going to be stretched this month and in the coming months as they adjust to that very significant change. So we may well see more kids showing up early at school.
Children who already benefit from SNAP or other federal assistance programs may be considered categorically eligible or through household income for free or reduced breakfast. Forms are available through schools.
We encourage any family who thinks they might qualify to go ahead and fill that out. Even if they didn't fill it out the first day of school, they're able to fill it out all throughout the school year.
Sedona Meadows, Fox 54 News.
Women's History Month in full swing. Today we highlight the first female African-American basketball coach at Calhoun Community College. It's the first team in 21 years. Our Jasmine Bird takes us to the Lady Warhawks home court.
Well, I began playing basketball at an early age, and once I saw that I was decent in the sport, I decided to try out for the basketball team at Tanner High School. I just have a passion for basketball. You know, I love the sport. I love everything about the sport.
Meet Calhoun Community College head women's basketball coach Candace Bird Vincent. The Limestone County native says her experience coaching the Lady Warhawks after a 21-year hiatus has been an honor.
And then to be the first African-American female to lead such a program that has such a rich tradition, winning tradition, it's just been humbling.
And that's not all.
But now the team has made it to the state tournament. It's magical. I mean, it's surreal. I can't really explain it, but.
Community College Conference named Bird Vincent Coach of the Year for the Northern Division. Anna Jones is one of the players who sees Coach Bird Vincent as a mother figure.
She's taught me a lot of new things. She's kind of been like my mom away from home, which I really love and I respect her for. I think that's a hard job to do and she does it great.
Coach Bird Vincent leaves all women with this final message.
My final message to women, whether it's here or all across the country, wherever, is to make sure that you believe in yourself. Even if others don't believe in you, you believe in yourself and you can do anything you put your mind to, but you know, you must work at it, you know, and as a woman, just holding your head high, having, you know, high self-esteem and confidence, and surrounding yourself around people who are going to be your cheerleaders and who's going to encourage you.
Indicator Jasmine Bird, Fox 54 News.
Huntsville Comic-Con is back for the 7th year at Low Mill Arts and Entertainment. Our Sedona Meadows went out there today after the storm to check out all that comic fans can enjoy. Sedona, it sounds like it's so much fun.
It's so much fun, Kenesha. Yeah, this storm did not stop attendees from having fun. There's so much to see and do at Comic-Con this weekend. Let's take a look.
There is comic books, toys, records, jewelry. We have Tyler Mane from the X-Men and Michael Myers, and we have Sherilyn Kenyon. They're both here signing at the show. Low Mill itself is a great place to come.
Huntsville Comic-Con is back at Low Mill for the 7th year in a row, bringing together all those with a passion for both old and new comics. And for some artists, it's a way to share their craft from all year round.
I have a focus on props and costuming. I am a cosplayer by trade, and I've been doing that for almost 15 years now. So tomorrow we are actually hosting a cosplay showcase and competition in the Huntsville Theater where we will be giving people a little bit of the experience of either showing off their character presentations or their costumes.
Emmy Main has set up shop at Low Mill for over 6 years with her business Lightning and Lace, and loves encouraging others interested in the world of comics to build their own costumes through sewing, 3D printing, and laser cutting.
Here at my shop, I really love to not only sell what I make and what I design, but also educate.
And here at Comic-Con, as Huntsville continues to grow, so does the fandom.
Huntsville is one of the biggest place. It is the up-and-coming place. I enjoy seeing the people come out here. They have a good time. They bring their families. Best thing about this show, it's $10 a carload to get in. So if one person comes in, $10. You bring 10 guys in a car, still $10.
Whether you come to Low Mill tomorrow for the convention, the food, or the entertainment, they can't wait to welcome you.
I am excited about this next year as far as, the growth of not just the Comic-Con, but the growth of the mill in general. Sometimes we hear that first-timers will come through the hall and will say, "Oh, welcome," and they said, "We had no idea that this place even existed."
Giving back to the community has been a long tradition at 2 Men and a Truck, and they are getting ready for their annual campaign aimed at helping mothers in the community. Movers for Moms is 2 Men and a Truck's national giving program aimed at assisting moms in need. Locations nationwide will collect donations to deliver to women's and family shelters to make Mother's Day special for all moms, regardless of their circumstances.
A lot of these women in these shelters are running from bad situations like domestic violence or homelessness or drug abuse, and they might be running into this shelter and not able to grab these essential care items. And those are the items that we're collecting with our partners, and we're able to give them to the shelter as a big Mother's Day present.
And you can make your donation at local donation spots across Huntsville starting at the end of March. For more details, head on over to fox54.com.
Now, the Valley's top teacher, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
People say this teacher's love and dedication is unmatched for who she calls her littles, also known as her kindergartners. And she doesn't plan on leaving this grade anytime soon. Here's our Valley's top teacher from Madison Crossroads Elementary School, Mrs. Leah Travis.
It's the Sweet 16.
Eyes on me.
1, 2, eyes on you.
16 years. Yes.
For kindergarten teacher
at the same school and the same grade.
Mrs. Leah Travis.
I just love the littles. And I also went to school here, so that makes it special too.
Madison Crossroads Elementary School is her stomping ground.
Ready? Eyes on the board.
It's why she's giving back to the place where she once started and sticking with the little sprouts.
I think their growth and that they're innocent, they love you no matter what, but they come in knowing so little, and then their growth, they're like reading when they leave you. So it's just I love this grade.
Her principal, Karen Fisher, admires her love for this special bunch.
She's the mentor for new teachers. But the thing that gets my attention about her is every time I go to the ballpark, she's there watching her kids play. She is very much a part of their lives.
Travis knows sometimes she has to give a lot for the littles.
It does. A lot of patience. So, yes, the littles are great.
A trait that's needed for the challenges ahead.
Challenges would be behaviors, learning how to channel their behavior when they get upset or using their words.
But it's what keeps Travis motivated.
I love a challenge. I welcome that. I'm just honored for this reward. It was a great surprise, yes, and an honor, so I appreciate it.
And we appreciate you. Congratulations, Mrs. Travis. Check out the moment she was surprised as top teacher, and don't forget to nominate one.
Today marked the 11th annual Community Kite Festival, bringing people together from all ethnic and social backgrounds to enjoy a beautiful day of kite flying while learning about one another and some of the multicultural nonprofit organizations here in Huntsville.
Looking up at the sky at John Hunt Park, you'll notice kites, and if you look closer, you'll see they're all different.
The kites in the air symbolize kind of social equality. There's hundreds of different kites in the air, but they're all getting along and working together. So the Kite Festival is for educating everybody on the cultural equalities and social equalities.
We're just here flying my kite. We're just seeing the events happening.
Huntsville, you know, if you've noticed since you've been here, it's kind of a melting pot, and I love that. That's part of the reason me and my husband are here, you know, our family and everything. We're a blended family.
The Asha Curran Foundation, City of Huntsville, and Downtown Huntsville Inc. celebrate 11 years of the Community Kite Festival, meant to bring people from all different backgrounds together.
We have exhibits from all the nonprofits and different multicultural organizations throughout the community. So everybody knows what a great community North Alabama has, but they need to know that it's multicultural and just expand our education, make sure we all get along together.
Asha Curran's focus is to help those in crisis while also raising cultural awareness.
Asha Curran, it's translated to A Ray of Hope, and we provide assistance and resources to victims of crisis traumas such as sexual assault, human trafficking, and domestic violence.
The impact that we have currently is on a larger scale because of the language access program that we have. We specialize on the foreign-born population.
And as the foundation aspires to be a ray of hope towards a healthy, inclusive, and harmonious community, they dream people will walk away from the Kite Festival feeling unified and empowered.
Well, unity, diversity, and of course inclusion is always a plus. And so it's really neat even just seeing the vast different kind of kites, the animals, the different shapes and prisms and things. I can definitely see the representation and where they were going with their mission.
Introducing children to uneasy situations like a trip to the hospital can be a tall task for parents. After a 3-year break, UAH College of Nursing has brought back a fun and informational experience sure to ease their minds. Our Ken McCoy has more.
A trip to the ER can be scary for children.
So when they have to go to the hospital, if they do, hopefully not, but if they do, then they know what to expect.
UAH, in partnership with Huntsville Hospital, is bringing local first graders to experience their Let's Pretend hospital.
This is our 34th year to host. It's our first year back since COVID. We turn our entire third floor Learning and Resource Center into a pretend hospital for kids. My students, which are senior nurses that will be graduating in May, they teach the children about each area.
The program has seen success over the years.
We get reports every year from Huntsville Hospital nurses, physicians, saying that maybe a child had to come in and have their appendix out. And mom and dad were all worried, but the kid was like, hey, I went to Let's Pretend Hospital. I've got this.
The student instructors are also enjoying the experience.
Well, I feel like when I was a kid, when I went to the hospital, I hated the hospital. I couldn't stand it, especially the ER. I'd do anything to avoid it. And so having, letting them know, like, hey, we're here to fix the problems. We're not here to, be scary. And I think that helps.
But the most rewarding part is making children curious about the medical field.
We usually, every year, will have some students that attended Let's Pretend Hospital when they were in first grade. I've even had students that said they decided as they were going through Let's Pretend, they wanted to be a nurse and they wanted to come to UAH. So that's really exciting to kind of see the whole cycle all the way through.
In Huntsville, Ken McCoy, FOX54 News.
The EPA considers household items that can catch fire, react, or explode hazardous if you're finished with them. The City of Huntsville's Green Team and Solid Waste Disposal Authority aims to help the people dispose of their hazardous waste properly this Saturday. Our Nixon Norman has more.
Believe it or not, there are several items within your home that are considered hazardous household waste items, such as the battery in your laptop or your smoke detector, even things as simple as a TV monitor. Items like these must be disposed of properly. If not, they could wreak havoc on the environment and the Huntsville community.
Before we chat more about why it's important to properly dispose of these items, what are some of those items we should be looking out for?
We take your old barbecue grill propane tanks. That's the one not many people know. Smoke detectors, we do those.
A lot of people don't know to bring their lithium batteries here still yet, and we do that.
From fluorescent light bulbs, medical waste, oil, all these products that we use that make our life easier, fertilizers, chemicals, gasoline, all these things, we don't need them in the trash.
One of the main reasons we don't want these waste products to end up elsewhere is because elsewhere means places like our water systems.
One thing is some of these things are actually very volatile, and when you pack them all together, these chemicals mix together, so it can pollute the air, the water, and the earth. So by making sure that we dispose of them properly, we are keeping the environment clean.
You may think, well, if I'm getting this stuff into the normal waste bin, everything should be fine. But that's not the case.
Once it goes to the Solid Waste Disposal Authority, it still ends up in a landfill, and it still rains at a landfill. So that water ends up in our water.
Well, once it rains, it gets in your groundwater. It's going to rain, it's going to go to your ditches, it's going to go to your creeks. You have livestock that drink out of these creeks. You have people who irrigate their crops out of these creeks. And eventually you're going to end up consuming it. So it's best to just dispose of it properly from the get-go.
By taking your hazardous household waste items to places like the Solid Waste Disposal Authority, you're doing your part in keeping Huntsville clean for all who live here.
It's very important for the safety of everybody in Huntsville, even at home. I mean, you don't want to throw it in your garbage can and mix the wrong things together.
For more information on how you can properly dispose of your hazardous household waste, head on over to FOX54.com.
Today was all about celebrating International Women's Day at Alabama A&M University. Many of the women there wore purple in honor of the women on campus, and they also held a special balloon release. Our Jasmine Bird takes us to the quad.
Alabama A&M University Director of Student Activities and Leadership Development, Jessica Brown, says their Women's Week committee decided to do this event in honor of all women.
To wear our purple, release the balloons. And take a unity photo, just celebrating women in general, but also the women here at AAMU.
Alabama A&M University Executive Director for Community College Relations and Global Initiatives, Dr. Pamela Little, says women are the foundation and the backbone of our humanity, and the world can't exist without women.
This year's theme for International Women's Month is Embrace Equity, and that is one of the priorities that we have here at Alabama A&M University. With that, again, today's event was really important for us to showcase that and to make certain that our women understand the value that they bring here to the university.
But the celebration doesn't end today. Alabama A&M's Women's Week will kick off March 20th through 25th.
Some of our events will include a girl talk, which is going to happen that Monday evening for the ladies to come out and just talk about the things that are affecting women on campus as well as across the nation.
The featured event that week will be the Tea on the Hill,
which will be featuring Angela Yee, our radio and podcast host, who will be coming to speak to our guests. And we're going to get dressed up in our shades of brown.
That wraps up your Week in Review. I'm Kenesha Dees. Remember to check out FOX54.com and download our mobile app for more of our stories. From everyone here at Fox 54 News, we'll see you next time.